Hey guys, Tinker Taylor here today, bringing you another A to Z build challenge video. So if you've never heard of this challenge before, it is a challenge where for me every day, for you guys every week, there is a new letter, and based on that letter you do a build and or cast creation. You can do one, you can do both, you can do neither. It's really up to you. So yeah, the whole point of it is you basically get the letter, you build something, you cast something, you submit it. That's it. And yeah, to be honest, that's pretty much the entirety of the entire challenge. The only rule that there is that technically there's two. For a long time I've been saying there's only one, but technically there's two. The big one is no CC. But the second one is you don't have to participate in every week. I guess that's not necessarily a rule, but more of like a, if you want to participate you can, if you don't. So yeah, basically, if you just want to participate in the first week, the last week, some random week in the middle, a couple of weeks here and there, every second week, whatever it is that you want, you get to pick what you participate in. You get to pick if you do a build, a cast creation, or both. You get to pick if you do something big, something small, something simple, something detailed, something that you've never done before, something that you have done and you feel like you're really good at. There's zero rules beyond, no CC, and if you want to, you can, you can participate in as little or as many weeks as you want. So yeah, with this challenge, I do it in 26 days because I'm insane. I'm crazy. I have no concept of things being too much and a bit too much to handle. So yeah, I do it in 26 days. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I built this yesterday. And today I'm gonna be working on tomorrow's build and maybe even the build after that, depending on how far through today's build I get. I already have inspo photos. I pulled them up last night. I've already picked the lot, which are two of the hardest things I find, is to figure out what I'm doing and where I'm doing it. So now I've just got to go do it. And I'm recording this video normally when I would be uploading the shorts and the reels for this day. So the short and the reel are, they're both basic. Let me try that again. They are the exact same video, short form video of this build that just shows like different aspects of it, and they go live first. So when I get up in the morning, I need to upload those first, and then when I finish that, I will generally either edit the video, upload it, all that, and then do the post, because I put a post out at the same time on Instagram as I do this video, which is just like a screenshot of the video to talk about the build a little bit. And then did I say a screenshot of the video? I meant a screenshot of the build. And then yeah, I continue on with whatever I need to do next. So I'll either put the post up when I'm doing the short and the reel, or I'll do it kind of as I'm uploading the video. Really just depends on whether or not I've got the screenshot, basically. If I have the screenshot, I'll do it. If I don't, I won't. So yeah, it's kind of the gist of it. That's honestly the rest of it. Nothing really else that I add to the day. But yeah, today I get to actually build and hopefully even edit and upload some of the stuff for tomorrow today, which was what I was used to. Like that's what I was doing kind of at the start of the challenge, was I was doing it like a day or a couple of days in advance, and now I'm going to be able to do that again, which is super exciting. And I've also picked a really small lot for tomorrow's build. The one after that, actually technically the two after that are kind of, they could be big builds, but I'm going to see if I can make them smaller. One of them I definitely could make it a much smaller build, and it kind of actually goes along with what I'm thinking. So we'll see how that turns out, because otherwise it would be a very, very big build, and I just don't want to do that. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't want to do big builds anymore. I like big builds, don't get me wrong. They are like something that's super detailed, super fun, take a lot of time, and I love that, but at the same time, I'm kind of over being stressed with how big builds are and how much I have to do, and I don't know, I don't know if it's just me, but I personally enjoy fun, medium-sized, detailed builds. You know, this I would say is a medium-sized build. Maybe, I could have made it bigger. I could have made it absolutely bigger if I wanted to, but I didn't, and I'm very glad that I didn't. So yeah, this is a nightclub, just in case you didn't read the description, the title of the video. And yeah, this is supposed to be sort of like a fancy one, or fancy rooftop bougie type nightclub. I nearly said hotel. Maybe it's on top of a hotel. I don't know. But the whole point of it is it's super fancy, and there's like a special elevator within the building that you have to have, like, you can't just walk in and get on the elevator and go to this level. Like, there's some sort of special way of getting here. I'm not rich or famous or a celebrity or anyone like that, which, you know, kind of grateful for that. I do like a little bit of anonymity in my life. But that's the reason why I don't know how you get up here, is because, yeah, I've never been to a place like this. I don't know how you get up here. I'm assuming there is, like, you either have to get a special swipe pass, or there's a person who has to know you, who works here, to let you up, or something like that. I don't know. If you're rich and famous, let me know how you would get up here, how it would work, because honestly, I don't know how it would work. I know that it would have to be something that the rich and famous people would want, because you kind of do what they want and make them happy. But yeah, honestly, wouldn't have a clue. And I'm also not a huge fan of night clubbing. This also kind of looks more like a rooftop bar than it does a nightclub, but let's just say that I designed it to look good in the day. Not intentionally. There's just, I couldn't find any CC lights that I liked, and I didn't want to have to use non-CC stuff. I wanted to try and commit to the CC, because this is the one chance I really get to use it. So yeah, I there's a bunch of tables and stuff out, so maybe when it becomes like a more nightclubby type nightclub instead of a rooftop bar, that maybe they take these tables and they put them in storage, and they pull out like a dance floor and a DJ booth and whatnot, and they set that up. But I don't know. Again, I don't really, I'm not rich or famous. I don't go to these places. I don't know how these things work. I also don't particularly like clubbing. I know it's a thing that a lot of people do enjoy, but I am someone who definitely enjoys an early bedtime. I also don't like, I don't like being in a very, very crowded place full of strangers. It's just very uncomfortable for me. I don't know, there's too many people, there's too many bodies close by, and too much sweat, and I just don't like it. You know, don't get me wrong, like, I don't mind if I knew these people and there were slightly less people, and by slightly I mean probably a lot less people. You know, I don't mind that sort of stuff, but yeah, it's just when there's so many people and they're all sweaty and they're all just not of sound mind, yeah, not really my scene. You know, I've lived at uni, so I've been to events where at uni through the, like, where I lived, that it was a similar sort of vibe, and I enjoyed that so much more, because if I wanted to leave, I could just walk away and be done. Like, I could go to my own little space and it'd be fine. But if I wanted to come back out, and, you know, if I just needed a breather, I could do that as well. Whereas, yeah, when you're out clubbing, that's not really an option. It's kind of inconvenient to do that. And, you know, if you get really hungry, you can just make food instead of having to buy it, and it saves you money. There's a lot of things that save you money with that, like not having to get Ubers or buses or taxis or whatever to wherever you're going, because you're there already. It's there, you're there. and you know the people, so you know it's safe, and there are people who are specifically watching out, and they know you and they know of other people, so they know if you're with people you're not really with, that maybe you should be kept an eye on. If you're with people that you're friends with, it doesn't matter, you're safe. You know, that's not to say that everybody at uni is always safe. There's definitely been people at uni who have appeared that way and were not. But yeah, the long and the short of it is it's safer, cheaper, more convenient to, just basically have that sort of scene at home. And yeah, I enjoyed that a lot more than going out clubbing. But also, you know, like I said, I'm an early sleeper. I like to go to bed early, so, you know, midnight is very late for me. Although recently I have been going to bed much later and later, and I feel a little bit drained, but I'm getting back on schedule. Instead of going to bed at like 2 a.m. like I did 2 nights ago, I went to bed at 11 last night, so we're doing much better. You know, 11 is kind of late for me. Normally I'll get into bed at like 10. I'll still be awake at around 11, but not for much longer. Like, I have a bedtime routine where I settle down and just relax, and maybe I'll read or do some sort of, you know, puzzle type game thing, and kind of just relax and doze off. But yeah, like I was saying, I couldn't really do that when the party was where I lived, because it was very loud, and even when music all turned off, there were still people carrying on, and eventually they would go back to where their rooms were, and they weren't necessarily all that quiet or subtle about it. I don't think they could be if they tried. And, just also meant bad night's sleep. But, overall, better experience. So yeah, the long and the short of it is me saying that I kind of messed up this build by not making it a nightclub. I didn't put a single dance floor in, but I did follow the, like when you make this a nightclub type lot, there's a bunch of things that you have to put within the lot for it to qualify as a nightclub, and I did that, and not one of them was a dance floor. I'm just gonna put that out there. So yeah, if you're wanting somewhere to go, it's probably not the greatest place, because there is no dance floor. You seems can't dance together. I mean, technically they can. There is a radio stereo type object in here, but there's no set dance floor, and also there's CC, so if you don't have it, you kind of can't use the lot. So yeah, but again, when I first started building, I was building for what I thought other people wanted, and I would see like, okay, these people, like, there's a lot of cottages at the moment, let me try a cottage. Oh, I did this really terribly, and okay, I see this people are building this, maybe I'll build that. And it was just really things that I didn't really know how to build or what I wanted to build. And so yeah, I started to find my groove and my pattern, but I was still kind of building for others. But now I'm kind of just building for me. I am keeping other people in mind and trying to balance that. You know, I don't want people to not be able to use my lots, but also I don't want to solely build for others. So this is kind of my happy medium where I build for me. I get to build with CC, I get to build whatever I want, and then when I go back to the Pokemon Build series, which is a series I started this year, I can kind of build keeping other people in mind. So, you know, like I have built some communal lots and made sure that they were usable. I've built some residential lots and made sure that they were usable, tried not to overclutter them, but still make them feel lived in. I still don't playtest. I still don't playtest. That's one thing that, like, I just, A, do not have the time for, and B, forget that that's a thing. Like, I totally just, I did not think that was a thing until, 2 seconds ago when I said it. And I could not tell you the last time I playtested. I would feel confident, I would not bet money on it, but I would feel confident in saying that I have not playtested in 12 months. I would say even in the entirety of 2024. Would I put money on it? No. But would I feel comfortable saying it? Yes. I have to be very certain of something before I bet money on it. I'm not a gambler. I don't like taking risk. I'm much more of a safe choice taker, safer option. When it comes to things that could affect me like that. I mean, there's a difference between gambling in terms of the choices you make, as in like, should I do this type of build or that type of build? That's something I'll take the risk on. There is builds that I've tried that I've never really done before. There's some builds coming up that a lot of this challenge is very, very pretty, and I don't think they're all gonna be very, very pretty builds. There's gonna be maybe one or two in there that are a bit, hopefully, gross. That's the nicest way to put it, is I want them to be gross. I want them to be little feral builds, and yeah, I say feral builds, it's mostly just one that I want to be a little bit not nice. I mean, it's still going to be nice as in accurate to what it is, but it's not going to be nice as in aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So yeah, like that's a type of gamble I'll take, because I could just go and pick. I had an idea for it that would have been really nice and really pretty, but also, like, I feel like anybody could do that. Anybody could make a pretty... I mean, not anybody can make a pretty build. It's hard. It's really, really hard. But I'm saying anyone could choose to make a pretty build. Anyone could attempt to. And that is me. I attempt to make pretty builds and don't always succeed. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to try and build something a bit more not so pretty for this challenge, and that is a gamble to me. Some people might not say it is, but to me that is a gamble, and that's one I'm really willing to take and risk. But yeah, when it's financial or when I have something to lose, I'm not really adventurous enough to take that risk. Like, okay, you could say, well, you could lose. Like, people could look at your builds and be like, ew, they're ugly. Like, why did you take that risk? That was a bad risk. But that's something that, to me, that's not a loss. To me, that's okay. I know what to do now. I can take a lesson from that and learn from it and get better from that. So, yeah, and the long and the short of it is I'm really not all that scared to do that. So, yeah, that's the long and the short of it, really. I to me, that's worth it. If people look at the build and go, wow, that's fantastic, then that is what I'm aiming for. That is fantastic and great. But if people look at it and go, I don't like that, that's also something that I am someone who, if you look at what I've done and say, I don't like it, and these are the parts I don't like, I love that. I absolutely love that. If someone comes into this build and goes, that's not a nightclub because it just looks like a rooftop bar, and a rooftop bar and a nightclub are two different things, absolutely correct. I already know that, and if you want to leave me feedback down below on what I could have done to make it feel more nightclubby, absolutely would love and appreciate that. Like I said, they probably change things around, so during the day it is a rooftop bar, but at night it's a nightclub. Pretty sure places do that. I wouldn't know. I've never actually been to a rooftop anything. Well, okay, I haven't been to a rooftop bar or a nightclub, but I've been on rooftops, if that. Like, I've been on places that rooftops and you're allowed to be on. But yeah, nothing like a rooftop bar or a rooftop nightclub. One of them was just a rooftop laundry, so, nothing special or exciting there. It was just a laundry. Anyway, yeah, look. At the end of the day, I'm not really one to take high risk outcome. I'm just not a risk taker, basically. Okay, you could say in some circumstances I am, but most of the time I'm not. I do prefer taking the safer option, especially if I know or have seen that the high risk option typically does not pay out. High risk, low reward, I guess. Low chance of, that's what high risk is a low chance of reward. Even if the high risk is something that you could have such high rewards in, I just don't want that risk. I don't like risk. I prefer safety. Also, I thought I'd just note out, in the bathroom section upstairs, there's a little room to the side. Like, when you come up to the top of the stairs, there's a little room there that's not a bathroom, and it's just got some closets in it, I was gonna say wardrobes, but some storage in it. And I know in-game we got a woohoo closet, so I kind of made my own. Not that it's actually usable as a woohoo closet, but, you know, we can pretend that I made it into one. So, yeah, I thought I would just point that out, just in case you guys were wondering, like, what is that room? What did you do? That's what I did. So, yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of fun with this build. I did try and stream it, but having some issues with, I don't know if it's OBS on my computer. I don't think it's OBS this time, because the problems that are showing up now are problems that I think are linked to either my internet or hardware. Also, it might have been the fact that my Twitch wasn't properly connected, and I'm not quite sure if I've properly fixed that or not. So we will see. It did pop up again this morning when I tried to do something, but then I think I fixed it. I don't know. I'm very technologically illiterate, let's put it. I usually just say I'm allergic to technology, which is kind of true. Not actually allergic, but just I seem to always have issues around it. And people who have allergies to something generally have issues with that thing. Yeah, anyway, long story short, I don't know what I'm doing ever, but eventually it'll get better, and eventually I'll figure it out. I think my biggest problem is that, yeah, my hardware needs updating. Upgrading? I don't know, bit of both. So, yeah, eventually I will get around to doing that, but there's a couple of things I need to get done before that, so yeah, that's the goal for this year. So by the end of the year, I would like to have a new PC, one that does really, really well at streaming and recording videos at the same time. I also need to make sure it can handle all of the things that I have open at once, because there's a couple of things that I don't know, I want to add some things and overlays and stuff like that. Not overlays, that's not the word I'm thinking of. Add-ons? I don't know the words of technology. Basically, there's a thing in OBS that OBS doesn't do, but if you add this thing to OBS, it will do it. And in order to have that, I need to be able to make sure that my computer can run it, but I don't even know if that's, like, does it affect my computer? Does it not? I don't know. So this is something that I'm going to have to bug Onion about. He is my go-to tech person. And it's great that we share a little office space, because it means I can just yell at him and be like, hey, can you please come help me fix this? And in return, I help him with other things. I don't know. That, yeah, I don't just be like, hey, help me do this. No, I do help with other things in return and teach Onion other things, but yeah, that's how friendship works, I guess. You help each other out. Yeah, anyway, sometimes I start talking and my mouth is moving and my brain just stops. It's like, I don't know if you've ever seen, like, two people shopping together and one of them's got the trolley and they're just walking, and then the other person just stops and they're just staring at something in the aisle. That's kind of how my brain works. Like, there's a disconnect between the two sometimes. Between my brain and my mouth. So, you know, I'll be talking and finishing sentences, and then, you know, my brain will turn around and be like, how did you get down the end of the aisle there with the trolley? Like, wait for me, I'm catching up. And then I realize, yeah, like, okay, this is what I've done, this is what I've said, and I don't understand. So, yeah. It's, if you've never heard me before or listened to any of my videos, that's quite typical. That is a normal Taylor video. To just ramble on about nonsense and then go, I don't know how we got here, and be more than mildly confused. So yeah, that's normal. If that's something you enjoy, cool. If it's something you don't enjoy, I'm sorry. That's just who I am, and it's something I've been doing for years. I do try and, like, write down lists of things to talk about and You know, when I start building, I'll be like, oh, remember to talk about this, remember to talk about that, and generally I do. You know, me talking about the fact that I tried to stream it and it failed. I did forget to mention that I deleted it twice and restarted from scratch. So this is my third attempt at building this, but yeah, the point is, sometimes I just ramble and rant, and by sometimes I mean always, and sometimes we get fun, random, weird questions. Like a couple of videos ago, I asked what your opinion on cheese was, because why not? Why not ask such a random question like that? I absolutely know why not, because that's such a dumb question. It's got nothing to do with this. I could have said, what's your favourite Sims pack? I could have said, who's your favourite townie? What's the favourite build you've ever done? What's your favourite cast creation? What's the funniest thing that's ever happened in your game? Any of those questions. And I asked, what's your opinion on cheese? So, you know, if you've never met me before, if you've never heard any of my videos, that's a really good understanding of what it's like around here. Instead of asking or talking about relevant things, we just go off on random weird little tangents where we are just in a different planet, in a different world, talking absolute nonsense. So if you enjoy that sort of stuff, definitely stick around, because you'll be getting much more of that. I'm hoping that, you know what, I'm going to write down a list of things to talk about that are vaguely sim related, and hopefully I can talk about that. You know, I'll talk about maybe machinimas that I've seen. I know there's podcasts out there around the Sims, newsletters, and online newsletters and stuff like that, and what are they called, magazines and stuff like that. So maybe I'll write some of this stuff down and I'll kind of talk about these things, and I'll probably do like one a week, so that for a week I can kind of ramble about one thing, and then the next week I can ramble about another. But knowing me, I'll say that because I remember a while back I said I'd do daily questions, and I've just forgotten to continue doing that, except for when I randomly ask you stupid questions. But anyway, we're pretty much at the end of this video. I've tried to figure out some lighting, didn't do too well as you can see here. So yeah, but anyway, we're very close to the end of this video. If you've enjoyed my random rambling and or the build, definitely let me know by subscribing and letting me know down in the comments below. Definitely helps me know that I'm doing good builds, and yeah. But yeah, if you guys want to see more stuff like this, make sure to, yeah, like I said, subscribe, stick around. I come out with new videos every single day except the last 2 to 3 days of February, depending on if it's a leap year or not. But until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.